I begin all my sessions with two requests. Please don't worry, I'm not going to ask for your bank balance. I'm not putting any loan application here. The first request is, please keep your spine erect as far as possible in the session. What is the importance of an erect spine? Well, we all know that it evolved from being animals and apes to finally becoming human beings. And this evolution probably took thousands of years. Now observe the difference in the intelligence between animals and human beings. There's a vast difference. And if you observe the evolution process, you would also notice that as we evolved from being animals to being human beings, our spine also evolved from being horizontal to being vertical. So in yoga we say, the spine is the center of all your experience of life. Be it wealth, be it personal relationships, be it anything else. The spine is the center of your universe. And for those of you who don't believe me, I would suggest a small experiment. Whenever you slouch, bend, or get into an awkward position where your spine is not erect, you would automatically notice your concentration, your focus, your awareness has gone down.
Good afternoon to you all.
It's
been a long day and we had been sessions after sessions. আমি জানি আমরা কেউই শুনতে বেশিক্ষণ ভালোবাসি না, so I don't think that people will enjoy a lot, so I'm giving 10 minutes time. Thank you for that. It's a double-digit number for the discussion, but a discussion which is much needed at this point of time. That is entrepreneurship.
If you look at the world around us, it is a restless generation. The minister is restless when he goes to bed at night. The CEO is restless. Even the sanitation worker is restless when he goes to bed at night. It has got nothing to do with money, power and position. वो पुरानी एक गजल थी, सीने में जलन, आंखों में तूफान सा क्यों है? सीने में जलन, आंखों में तूफान सा क्यों है? इस शहर में हर शख्स परेशान सा क्यों है? Why is everybody so restless? Have we invested lakhs of rupees in our education, in our training to become restless and thereby produce disease for our own body through our mind? But don't forget, we call ourselves the most intelligent species on the planet. So my second request is, be in the moment if you can. Be in the now if you can. This is far too cliched and far too widely used. But I'll give you a beautiful definition of being in the now. What is the other name for our great country, India? We all know. What is the other name for India? Bharat? Absolutely. Now, how many of us know that one of the inspirations behind the name Bharat is the following? One of the 26 inspirations behind the name Bharat is the following. The Bha in Bharat stands for bhavna, sentiment. The Ra in Bharat stands for raga, the tune. The Ta in Bharat stands for tala, the rhythm. पूरी भावनाओं से रागा को समझ के ताल में रहिए. With all the sentiment and passion at your command, understand the tune and be one with the rhythm. This is also a beautiful, musical, creative way of saying, be in the now. So with these two requests, I'll go headlong into my session of practicing mindfulness for financial success. Before I go into the mechanics and dynamics of mindfulness, I would like to draw your attention to one fundamental fact of the universe. It is not a matter of opinion, no scope for debate here. It is a fundamental fact of the universe. And what is that fact? The universe has abundance and only abundance. Poverty is man-made. The universe has abundance and only abundance. Poverty is man-made. Now, what is the science behind this statement, which may otherwise sound rhetorical and too prose and poetry, but you'll be wondering, how is this possible? Well, I'll get down to the science of it. If you go to quantum mechanics, quantum physics, and the latest scientific advancements, they will clearly tell you one thing. You have an electromagnetic existence. What does that mean? Though you think your body, mind, and everything else, the ground reality is when we go to the last denominator, your energy vibrating at a certain frequency. So before I came on stage and before all of you came here as part of the audience, there was substantial energy movement which got me on stage here in Calcutta and got you as the audience. No two people can come in front of each other until energy wants them to come in front of each other through its movement. The universe to come in front of each other through the movement of energy. Now I'll give you a simple practical way on how this works, because most of you would now be wondering, how does this actually operate practically? Well, we all are familiar with the radio set. So I used to host a program on 107.1 FM at 6 p.m. in the evening. That program used to be called Celebrating Life with Vivek Shetty. And I had all kinds of Bollywood stars, corporate CEOs on those programs. My programs were motivational and inspirational. So at 6 p.m. in the evening, if you tune into 107.1 megahertz, you'd probably listen to Celebrating Life with Vivek Shetty. Right now, compare your mind-body system to a radio set. Whatever the broadcast in your life, if it is about joy, if it is about financial success, if it is about great personal relationships, it is because you are tuned to that energy, frequency, and vibration. And until you change the energy, frequency, and vibration to which you are tuned, the same type of people will keep coming back in your life, only their names will change. Peter will go, John will come. John will go, Salim will come. Salim will go, Vishnu will come. Same type of people. Until you change the energy, frequency, and vibration at which you operate in life, the same type of circumstances will repeat themselves, only the time and place will change. This is the science of energy, frequency, and vibration. So how do you change the tuning? For that, we have to go to the mind. Now the problem with the mind is, we know the iPhone, we don't know the eye. We are sending people and rockets to Moon, Mars, and every other planet. We don't know what's happening inside us. So I'll tell you a small joke. You'll enjoy. There was a foreign tourist who came to India, and those days, I'm talking of about 30, 40 years back, there was no GPS, there was no mobile, there was no internet. And he wanted to visit the Taj Mahal. So he landed in Agra, and he asked a passerby, where is Taj Mahal? The local passerby told him, sir, Taj Mahal is about 10,520 miles from here. The foreign tourist burst out laughing. He said, you know I've come from another country, and you're having good fun at my cost. I know I'm in Agra. I know Taj Mahal is in Agra. How can it be 10,520 miles from here, for heaven's sake? The local passerby replied by telling him, sir, the direction in which you're moving ahead, it is 10,520 miles from here. If you turn in the opposite direction, it's 2 kilometers. If you turn in the opposite direction, it is 2 kilometers. So whatever we are seeking in life, the direction in which we are moving, even if we get it, it may be 10,520 miles or longer, or we may never get it. But if you turn inside, it is not even 2 kilometers. So nothing beautiful can happen outside, nothing fabulous can happen outside until something fabulous is happening inside. बाहर आपको ताजमहल बनाना है, but अंदर से you are restless, frustrated, angry, all sorts of negative emotions consuming you all the time, and you want to create a beautiful business empire. Ah, wonderful dream. But scientifically it doesn't work. Mind ka sabse bada problem. What is the confusion? I have got cancer surgeons in my training modules on a one-to-one basis. I have got doctors. I have got the best management and senior corporate professionals from all over the country and even abroad in my training modules. One question goes unanswered majority of the times with majority of the people, though they have a long list of degrees to their credit. What is that question? What is the difference between brain and mind? No training system teaches. No education system teaches. It is not part of any societal system anywhere in the world. In fact, what is we have presumed is brain is mind and mind is brain. The question of mindfulness arises provided we know what is mind. There has to be absolute clarity on the understanding of the term mind. So I'll give you a very simple example which will stay with you for a lifetime. We all use laptops and computers. The laptop is the hardware. The softwares will have to be downloaded into the hardware for the laptop to become useful and for you to achieve what you want to achieve. Now substitute the hardware for the brain and substitute the software for the mind. And software in this case are only your thoughts. So if I want to create a beautiful painting on a laptop, I will use the software paintbrush. If I don't have the software, no matter what high-end laptop I own, I will not be able to achieve what I want. The same go with your thoughts. Another example, bulb here is the hardware, light is the software. Light is not bulb, bulb is not light. Brain is not mind, mind is not brain. Human beings on an average get 70 to 80,000 thoughts per day as per science, and nearly 80% of these thoughts are repetitive. Mark my words, 80% of these thoughts are repetitive in nature, which means we are functioning like pre-programmed robots. We are functioning like pre-programmed robots. So my insight into mindfulness will begin with first clearly explaining what is mind. So I hope you all have got a clear understanding of what is mind and how different it is from brain. Now the question is, how do you use your mind to achieve what you want? The mind is like a monkey. So in Sanskrit, we use a term called Markata. Markata means monkey mind. Now, this is, if you observe human activity on the planet, we still have two common habits which the monkey also still has. What are the two common habits that human beings have still retained? Number one, the monkey jumps from one branch to another the whole day. It derives tremendous pleasure from activity. At the end of the day, it is on the same tree. Activity is not equal to productivity. And even human beings have retained this aspect of the monkey mind to a large extent if you observe our environment. The second hallmark quality of the monkey is, the moment somebody does something and it feels it is good, it will try to imitate him, ape him. So the monkey tries to copy. This is classic hallmark qualities of monkey mind. Human beings are also trying to do the same thing. Oh, he's successful doing this. Ah, that's it. I've cracked the code. I got it. This is what I'll do. That is why you must understand how in the first place do you operate and take the mind to a space where you can achieve financial success through great mindfulness. Now I'll give you practical corporate office example. I go to large corporate groups as a trainer. 80 to 90% of the staff that I go and visit, from senior management down to the office boy, 80 to 90% of the people are looking forward to the weekend. When will Saturday come? I'll go for a beer. When will Sunday come? I'll go for a movie. I'll do this with my family. I'll do that with my family. Monday is miserable. Monday is miserable. So we've coined terms like Monday blues and God knows what. So I asked them a fundamental question. If you start working at the age of 20, 25 and you go on till 60, these days people are not even stopping at 60, they're working till 70, 80 also if possible. And by the age of 60, 65, you have an impressive lineup of fancy cars, bungalows, mansions. But if you look back at 35, 40 years of your life, 5 days a week was miserable. Which means 80% of your life was miserable. You were fighting with your colleagues. You were angry. Office was like, conflict world. Always conflict. Them versus us. Them versus us. And in this conflict world, the context of your life was miserable no matter what the content. You may be a plumber, you may be a CEO, you may be a minister, I don't care. That is content. What is the context? Miserable or joyful? So everybody wants a joyful life. So the first thing is, as a favor to yourself, as a recipe for financial success, as a favor for your own life, let's make Monday joyful. And until Monday is joyful, you might have heard ancient Indian wisdom, Lakshmi comes more easily to people who are smiling. Not to people who are fighting all the time. Not to people who are angry all the time. Smile is health for you. When you frown at people, that is disease for you. Forget the other person. When we were small, we smiled at everybody. She's smiling at me. Means it's time for me to go. I'm winding up in 2 minutes. Yeah? You're wearing a wonderful black outfit. Thank you. So give me 2 minutes. Yeah? When we smile at people, it is health for us. When we were small, we were smiling at everybody even if we didn't know them. Now when we grow big, it's like this. I'm a big motivational speaker. I'm a big guru. This man has come in front of me. How much should I smile? Should I smile just this much and go ahead? That is in keeping with my stature. I'm up there, man, and he's down there. So just that slight grin is fine. And the other guy, I don't even need to look at him because he's nowhere in the corporate ladder where I am. So just ignore him. He will understand how serious his boss is. More serious you become, the hospital is close by. Don't forget. Even when they wrote about Lord Krishna in ancient India, they did not write Krishna Charita. Charita means story. They wrote Krishna Leela. Leela means play. Life is play. Be joyful. And that is the secret of mindfulness. When you're smiling, Saraswati is happy with you, Lakshmi is happy with you, and they're saying, this place looks good, man. That's the first thing. Your employees should be smiling. Why is it boss versus employees? Or employees versus boss? Create a culture of joy. Have an index. We have GDP in the corporate world, gross domestic production. I am telling you, please introduce GHI, gross happiness index in your organization. Right here, right now. If you can, and see how many people are happy. And the more people are happy, the more wealth and more productive you become. It's a science. The last final thing, this beautiful lady is waiting for me, and I can't afford to keep her standing for too long. Yeah, Lakshmi will stop smiling at me. Yeah, so it's better I attend to her timelines also and wind this up as quickly as I possibly can. But I would like to leave you with this, important aspect of the science of energy frequency and vibration. Okay? So focus your mind on abundance. Focus your mind on abundance in all circumstances. I want to give you 2 examples. There was a rich corporate industrialist. He's 50,000 crores plus. I won't name him because everybody in the country knows him. Yeah? And we do some training programs for their company. So I'm very familiar with the top chairman, and we developed a good rapport over a period of time. One fine day, I was invited to one of his high-profile events where all these fancy cars in South Mumbai would line up one after the other, and it would be a visual spectacle for the common people and spectators and Mumbaikars at large. It happened in Mumbai. All these, fancy cars of good old times, vintage cars as they call them. Vintage is the right word. And we were sitting in the VIP lounge and having a cup of tea together. His red Ferrari was standing right in front of us. And a passerby, a common man, went and leaned his elbow on the Ferrari and tried to click a selfie. Coincidentally, even I'm wearing red today, and that was also a red Ferrari. This industrialist, managing 50,000 crores at one end, extremely sharp mind, extremely sharp, razor sharp, dissection. Any statement you'll make, he'll dissect it into a million pieces before you could even think anything further. Now, he literally went to assault that guy physically. I ran after him and stopped him. Then his 6-7 bodyguards came. They caught hold of that poor man who was trying to click a selfie with the Ferrari and politely took him aside. For the next 15 minutes, this industrialist was abusing all his bodyguards and asking them, why am I paying you all? For what? Why have I kept you all? I'm sacking you right now. He started issuing all sorts of, threats of removing them from the job. After 15 minutes, he cooled down a bit. Then I told him, sir, with all due respects, you are an extremely intelligent and brilliant man. But since I have this rapport with you, and since I have the liberty of talking like this to you, I would like to draw your attention to one fact. I said, one end of your mind is very sharp, razor sharp. And this, for your knowledge, what we do in commerce, no matter how many zeros you add to your balance sheet, it is still a survival process. It is not peak potential process. You're using only one faculty of the human mind, which in Sanskrit is called buddhi or intellect. There are peak intelligence is far away from you. So I told him, sir, but the other part of your mind, which is ego, which is in Sanskrit is called ahankara. Identity. You have an identity like this, I'm like that. Now, because of that, this is happening. If you're in Europe and I'm here in India and I send a video of somebody touching your car, I can make you go mad in Europe. And if I make 10 people touch your car every day and share videos with you, I can keep you mad the entire day. This is why a high-profile corporate CEO with a long list of degrees from reputed institutes, okay, consume the life of their own 4-year-old child. Our education systems, our training systems, our societal systems are training people for healthy careers. They are not training them for healthy mind. And as I told you a few minutes back, nothing fabulous can happen outside until something fabulous is happening inside. It simply cannot happen. Not possible scientifically. So with this industrialist, he got his point, he got my point. He thanked me. He said, I'm glad you brought this to my notice. And I told him another thing. The second problem is, what you accumulate may be yours. What you accumulate may be yours, but it is not you. The moment you think it is you, that is another form of madness. What you accumulate may be yours, but it is not you. The moment you think it is you, it is another form of madness. But this is a mental asylum now. Everybody has gone mad in this fashion, so nobody calls anybody mad. Everybody is now identifying with what he has accumulated. So if you go to a mental asylum where there are all mad people who are jumping, screaming, yelling, and they think, I'm the tough boss, I'm the shark. What's that term? Shark. Oh my God. It took us 1,000 years from being sharks to becoming human beings. Now in the corporate world, we have started using the word sharks again. I don't know whether they'll start using the word lions, tigers, and monkeys. And they call this progression. I call it regression.
Thank you so much, sir. We're running out of time.
Thank you. So, thanks for listening to me. I get a little passionate when I speak, so I tend to go on. But thank you so much for bearing with me.
Okay.
All the best.
Sir, please stay.